Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. Today we're going to be recapping what I like to call the longest month that has ever existed, which was January 2025. I mean, seriously, like it was the longest month ever. I feel like it was just insane. I don't know. I always feel like January is long, but this was like an extra brutally long January. So I'm very happy to be filming this video today because it means that we have made it through and that January is finally over. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, especially if you live in the US. It was a long month. It was a long month. So let's go over what we spent in the month of January. Now, if you guys were one of the many thousand people who watched my January budget video, I have to apologize to you because I am an idiot. Not really, but I completely forgot when I filmed that video that we actually had an extra paycheck in January. So that budget was wrong, or at least the income was wrong. Everything else was pretty much correct, but we had an extra paycheck. Hello, duh. So I will be sharing that with you guys in this video, obviously, but just laughing at myself because I completely forgot when I was filming that video that we would have an extra paycheck. If you guys are new-ish to my channel, my husband got a new job in November, and so in my defense, I am still getting used to like the new paycheck schedule because it is different from his last employer. At his last employer, we were paid the same weeks, and so we only had like 2 extra paycheck months a year, but then with this job we're paid opposite weeks again, so now we have like 4 extra paycheck months, but they're not as big. So anyway, lots of rambling, but let's go ahead and get into it. So for our W-2 income, again, I had budgeted $7,700. That was not accurate. It was actually $9,750 that we brought in. And yeah, that was just because I completely forgot that we had an extra paycheck. It wasn't anything like too exciting, just other than that was what I should have put. And for side hustle income, I never budget for that, but we actually had $408 in side hustle income, which brings our total income for the month to $10,158, which is amazing. I love a $10,000 month. We don't get those too often, but it is really exciting when we do. So $10,158. And let's go ahead and get into it. If you guys are new to how I do my budgets, this top half is fixed expenses, variable expenses, sinking funds, and then the current financial goal that we're working on. So let's go ahead and go through these individually. Mortgage was $25.27, and that was exactly what it was. No change there. That was at 25% of our income this month. So for our mortgage, I talk about this like every video, I feel like, but we actually did get our escrow analysis done in January. If you guys have been watching my recent videos, I've talked a little bit about this and not knowing if it was happening or not because it was taking forever, but they did actually do our escrow analysis for the month of January. I believe that takes effect either March 1st or April 1st. I have to see, but our mortgage amount will be going down. It'll be roughly closer to like $2,400, I think. So it's going down slightly. We did have an escrow shortage that we were repaying. That has like settled itself out for the most part, although our taxes did go up. So like it's kind of a little bit of a wash, but we're going down a little bit to like around $2,400, I believe. So that's exciting. That'll be coming in the next few months. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. Honestly, I thought about seeing if we could not escrow anymore because it really frustrates me. I feel like our mortgage company that we've had and then the new one that we have now, they just sold our mortgage like a month ago or something. But I just feel like they mismanage our escrow. Like I don't feel like the amounts that they take are correct. We had the whole escrow shortage last year. Like it was just a nightmare, but I'm giving them another chance. Luckily it went down, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, very frustrating. And I am still considering like eventually just asking if we can not have to escrow. I don't actually know how that works. If you've ever done that, let me know how that went. Do I just ask them if we can not do it? Like, I guess I don't know. Our HOA, we pay annually for our HOA. So we do have an HOA, but it's like very, very minimal. Like it basically just pays for like the snow plowing of like our common sidewalks and like some maintenance stuff. So I had budgeted $200. It actually did go up slightly this year to $225. So that was a slight difference of $25, but no big deal there. I just estimated based off what we paid last year. So it did go slightly up, but that's understandable because like everything is more expensive. And I am grateful that we only have to pay it once a year. I know a lot of people have like even more than this a month that they have to pay. So glad that it is relatively low in that way. Daycare, we had budgeted $980. But then I looked at it again and we actually had to pay it 5 times. So we actually ended up switching this to $1,225. So I think like technically they pay it on Fridays, but like it doesn't come out of our account till like Mondays or Tuesdays. So I don't know. We ended up having to pay 1 extra week this month though, which is good because like I would like to have those happen on the months that we have extra income, and because they are paid on Fridays, it should like align to when we have those extra paychecks pretty much. So that's nice at least, but that was a difference of $245, which is what we pay weekly. And that was 12% of our income. Then we have our Peloton, which for the first month in a while, I actually feel like I can come on here and confidently say that we got our money's worth this month for sure. I used the Peloton every single day this month. I worked out every single day. I am super proud of that because I have been off the wagon, you guys, for like a while. I know if you're an OG, you'll know. I have been struggling really, really bad with mental health and just everything the last year, basically. So I am really proud of myself that we got back on it, and I'm really looking forward to continuing that, hopefully for the whole year. I have felt so good this month, like just mentally, physically, like it has made a huge difference. So I'm trying really hard to keep that up. Electric and gas, we have this on a budget billing. So it's $196 a month. And like I said in my last video, probably, or another budget video, I believe this will recalculate in April. So we should have a new amount or like slightly different. Although I think this is like pretty much spot on. Like the budget billing, I think is actually pretty accurate. Like I think that'll probably not change much because that is typically what our bill is around. Obviously we have like really high swings in the winter and the summer. I live in Wisconsin, if you're unfamiliar. So we have like drastic weather swings, but it always like kind of works out to like around $200 a month. So that should be pretty consistent. $60 a month for our internet. That has not changed, although they did try and change it. If you follow me on Instagram, you know about that story about me calling and bitching, and they did not raise it. So $60 a month. We have $100 a month going towards our brokerage and our giving category right now. Those are both just auto payments. So $100 goes to our brokerage and $100 goes to St. Jude, which is a children's hospital near us. And that is a cause that I really care about. So $100 for each of those. Then we get into our variable expenses this month. So $200 we sent to spending. So how my husband and I do it is we both have our own checking accounts. They're like our OG checking accounts from like before we were together. We keep them, we use them for our personal spending, and then we can just do whatever we want with it. We can spend it all, we can save it all, we can do whatever. It's very nice. I would highly recommend it if you are a dual income household that shares your like main joint account. I think it's really nice to have like one separate thing that's like just your own money and you can do whatever you want. Now, obviously this isn't a ton of money. It's $100 each. So it's not like we're able to like go buy a Lamborghini, but you know, we can buy like a toy Lamborghini or something. I don't know, whatever you want to spend it on. Then we have gas for our cars. I had budgeted $300 and we spent $230. So we were under budget this month, which is great. I love that. I think $300 is probably right for us, but it just depends on the month. Like some months I need to get gas an extra time, or some months my husband needs to get gas an extra time. So I want to have that money there. Like I'm not worried about overspending on gas because like we just spend what we spend on it. Like it's not really a category that we can like overspend, quote unquote. So leaving it at $300 probably for the whole year. Groceries. We had budgeted $1,000 for groceries. We actually spent $1,066. So we were over budget by $66. Now, I am, again, very, very proud of us because I was watching my budget like a hawk. I tracked my expenses every single day, and it has been quite a while since I have done that. And yes, we did technically go over a budget on groceries, but it was like needed. It wasn't anything that was like frivolous. We really spent that money on food, and that is because of our dining out, which I will get to in a minute. But $10.66, I'm very happy with that. No issues, no regrets about that. $100 we had budgeted for fun and kids. This is just like our random amount like that we spend on our kids or whatever, if they have a birthday party, if they, whatever. We spent $68 on this month. This was actually a haircut for my daughter and a haircut for my son. That literally is it. That is all we spent this month in our fun and kids category. We just didn't have a lot going on, so we were actually under budget by $32, but yes, we did get haircuts for my oldest son and my daughter because they needed them. So $68 on 2 haircuts. My daughter gets her haircut maybe like twice a year, and my son gets his haircut a few times a year. Like I usually cut it, but sometimes he wants it to be done like professionally. So $200 we had budgeted for miscellaneous expenses, and we actually went quite a bit over budget. And this is like partially my fault. It's not partially my fault. Girl, who else's fault would it be? It's my fault. Like I spent this money. We went over budget. We went over budget by $169. Now I already forgot why. Let me go back to my budget. Hold on. What was our main thing that we had gone over? There was one thing that I was like, shoot, I should have budgeted for that separately. Oh, now I remember. We went over budget in this category mostly because I had to order contacts, which this is like a part where it's kind of like I could have taken this elsewhere. So we did pay over $100, almost $150. So honestly, like almost this whole overage was from my contacts. So I purposely like left it in here because I didn't want to take from our HSA, and that was a conscious decision that I made. So yes, I had to get contacts. I don't know how I forgot that, but I'm blind as a bat. And if I don't have contacts or glasses, I can't do anything. Like I'm literally legally blind in both of my eyes. So necessity, I would say. I could have taken that from our HSA. I could have not been over budget as much, but I just decided to cash flow that because I want to keep as much as we can in our HSA this year because I want to invest it. And so the more we can cash flow those random things that come up, the better. And hopefully I won't need contacts for a while. I don't wear contacts every day. I only wear them like maybe a few times a week. I have incredibly dry and sensitive eyes now that I'm getting older. And so I tend to wear my glasses a lot more. And dining out, I only put on here so that I could tell you and brag that we did not spend any money. Look, no money, none. We did not eat out the entire month of January. I am so proud of that. Pause for clapping, yay. But really, like that is a big deal for us. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, well, this is actually like the 3rd January that we've done this, but it is always really nice, like after the holidays, to not eat out for the whole month. It's hard. Like I hate cooking and I had to cook and that sucked, but it's really nice to like have that extra money and not have to worry about going over budget. And like, it was really nice. So we are going to eat out in February. Like we are doing that. Like, that's just what we're going to do because there's no way for us personally. I don't want to not eat out ever again. Like that is not a priority for me. I like eating out, but I think that every once in a while, it's really nice to have like a reset and just not do it for a while. Just honestly, part of it was just to prove that we could do it. Like it wasn't anything else. Like we could have afforded to do it. We could have definitely spent $300, but we just didn't want to. So that's why, again, I'm like not upset about slightly being over budget on groceries because we didn't eat out at all. So obviously we had to eat every single meal at home. We also hosted my sister and her family one night. So it was like more expensive, and yeah, so very happy with that decision, but looking forward to like adding it back in. I'm hoping for February, we will only eat out like once a week-ish, and then maybe like a couple of Saturdays. My husband really likes to get breakfast on Saturdays, so that's like his thing. So we will probably eat out again. I'm hoping we'll stay under budget though, but very proud of the dining out. So yay, very happy with that. Next category is sinking funds. So for car, we had budgeted $75 and we sent $75. For kids, we had budgeted $50 and we sent $50. No change there. $100 for our home sinking fund, which is just for like home decor or anything like that. We had originally budgeted $200 for vacation and we actually sent $450. And that is because I realized we had an extra paycheck month and I wanted to put a little bit more towards our vacation sinking fund. And then 100 to Christmas. We are doing that all year long. So that was like 1%, less than 1%, whatever. 1%, 4%, 1%. So very happy with that. Glad that we could put a little bit extra towards our vacation sinking fund. I did want to send most of it to the car for our new car, but we also do have a vacation coming up in March. And so I'm just trying to really make sure we have enough in there. We do have enough in there right now, but I just want to keep making sure that we have enough for like spending money and all that. And then also I don't want to completely drain our vacation sinking fund down to zero because we do want to go on vacations more often. So I am trying to just fund that a little bit higher in the months where we have extra income. So yeah, that's nice. And for our car fund, we actually were able to send $3,000 to our car fund, which is 30% of our income this month, which I'm so proud of. $3,000 was my goal once I got my head out of my butt and figured out that we had an extra paycheck. So $3,000 was amazing. I'm super proud of that. I'm also really proud of the fact that we were also able to send extra to our vacation sinking fund on top of that. So that really feels good that we were able to do that. So 30% going towards our goals is a really great month. And that's on top of like all the other stuff we do, like investing and all that stuff. Recap down here, total income was $10,158. Total expenses, $10,187. So we were slightly over. We had a negative $29 difference. But again, I do round these numbers off so that number is closer to zero than it is in here. But we do round these off just because I don't want to sit here and talk about 10 cents with you. So $29, that's fine. That'll come out of our buffer. We do have a few $100s in our checking account that we utilize as a buffer. So anytime we're slightly over, we're not perfect. And obviously we have 5 people in our family, so it can be hard to budget exactly. And that pretty much never happens. So that is all I have for the month of January. It was a long month. It was a crazy month, but it was really a good month generally for our budget and personal stuff. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. How did January go for you? What were your thoughts on January? How's your budget going? Tell me all the stuff in the comments. I would love to talk to you there. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.